358/2 days, game name that should not exist, let's be honest, but it's attached to the game which I am so happy that does. It's one of, if not my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. I know, I'm a fake fan. I know I have annoyed Kingdom Hearts community quite a bit recently, but I'm new here, okay? I just beat Kingdom Hearts 1 first time this year alongside 2 and Chains of Memories. So I'm still learning. And I do love all these games I played so far, except one that shall not be named. However, one that really impressed me was 358/2 days. Okay, I have to stop calling it that. It's just going to be 358 from now on. That's it. So 358, a DS Kingdom Hearts game, which sounds wild. I know that Chains of Memory was on Game Boy Advance, but it was not this on this. Instead, it was its own game with 2D isometric perspective and cards. It was a whole thing. But 358 was not that. It was 3D Kingdom Hearts game fully fledged on DS. It looked, well, like a 3D game on DS, but when you take it into consideration it is a console less powerful than two potatoes tied together, it's still impressive. So, what is this game about? Well, it's sort of a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 2, hence why it's positioned before it in the collection. However, I would recommend playing 2 first, as you will be confused. Who is he? What is happening? Where are we? You don't know. In this collection, we only got the cutscenes combined into a long movie, all remastered and all, which are nice, but there's something about those crunch up animations from the DS that I like them for some reason, okay? Though, I would wish we got this game fully remastered in the style of those cutscenes. Though apparently there was a plan to make a full remake of this one in ways of Chains of Memory, but due to them having rebuilt the first game as they lost the source code or whatever, they just ran out of time to remaster this game as well, or remake it, I guess. So we are left with a DS version, and it is not a bad time. The game follows Roxas, who, spoilers, is Sora's nobody. If you don't know what nobodies are, it is interesting that you're watching this video, because you're gonna be so confused. But let me try to explain what nobodies are, so strap in. So nobodies are created from the leftover shell of someone who became a heartless. If that particular person's heart was strong enough, it created a full-fledged nobody, a person without a heart, not to be mistaken for a heartless. Their names are jumbled up name of whoever nobodies they are, just with X placed somewhere, hence why we got Roxas, Sora Roxas. Sora just with an X factor that makes him blonde and confused. Did you get all that? Good. If I got something wrong, I am sure you will correct me in the comments, but that's what I understood about this so far. This franchise is a little bit confusing, okay? So yeah, we are Roxas, who just joined Organization 13, the main antagonist of Kingdom Hearts 2. He is dressed in the iconic leather trench coat, which is stylish, but bruh, this got to be warm. We start at day 7, and go from there, which explains a little bit the title. A bit. And yeah, what can be said about this? It is a scaled-down Kingdom Hearts experience. You walk around, fight Heartless, yet here instead of roaming different worlds semi-freely, you have a mission structure. Go and kill this dude, go and do some recon. It's a simple game loop that has you go around maps you probably already saw in Kingdom Hearts. Killing Heartless, you probably saw there as well. On PS5, I would say it would be, not that impressive on experience, but on a DS, this really works. What they did here is adapt the Kingdom Hearts game handheld purposes. This is a console you play on a toilet. As such, they made it so that you can do a nice little mission in that time. Unless you had some Vindaloo the other night, then you probably can do 2 or 3 missions, if not 5. I'm not sure if it's them just having a foresight that this structure works better on a handheld, or them just doing it due to hardware limitations. Either or, they work with what they got, and it works so well. Talking about working with what they have, or rather what they didn't have, if you don't know, DS lacked a lot, since it was just a Game Boy Advance with an ancient touchscreen technology. It did not have any sticks, which are kind of useful for 3D games. Not having it for a game like Crash on PS1 was one thing, but that game came out in 1998, 6 years before DS. We had GameCube on the market for 3 years by that point. Made by Nintendo. And that had sticks. What the hell, Nintendo? What the hell? Why didn't they have a two or at least one of these? Well, because Nintendo believed in the second of the DS titular dual screens that had the magical touchscreen capabilities. And oh my god, I just realized it does have a stick technically. This is a stick. It's just a different stick. I'm sorry, Nintendo, it had a stick. But why this stick? Like, many good games have been ruined with forced touchscreen controls on this device, just like many Wii games have later on with forced waggle. I do not want to waggle. Please, just make it stop. Because of this baffling decision from Nintendo, developers usually did not have many options. So what did 358 do? Well, when you first launch the game, you will very quickly miss camera controls. Well, you can press the right trigger to quickly turn camera in the direction which Rox's spike anime hair is pointing at. You can also double click that button to lock onto nearest enemy, and that works. But quickly the game lets you know that you can use the touchscreen for camera movement, and it just doesn't work. And not because it doesn't actually function. You can turn the camera with the little pen, but you would need like 3 hands to be able to play the game that way. Not gonna lie, playing this way is not ideal. However, as your adventure goes on, you quickly find out that there is another movement scheme you can use, which game locks you out of until you get a few days into the titular 358 days. Why did they do that? I don't know why, but they do, which is a great shame, as this mode allows you to switch left and right camera movement to the trigger, so that you press the left trigger to pan camera left and right trigger to pan camera right. And that just works so much better, and it's so intuitive because you have your hands on those triggers anyway. And you're not losing anything with this mode, as it doesn't take away any shortcuts or anything like that. So why wasn't this implemented from the start? It almost feels as if Nintendo was forcing them to put in touchscreen controls, and they really did not want to do that. So they added the weird camera thing to please Nintendo gods, and secretly added this mode so that they didn't notice. Either or, this just works very well, and it's the only way to play this game, in my opinion. Like, the second screen, you can almost ignore it. It's only there for map or objective tracker. They did not try to implement any other touchscreen controls. Notice about this game, which is very much different from the other Kingdom Hearts game, is that combat is much slower. It's probably due to the hardware, but you do not zoom from enemy to enemy as quickly as you do in Kingdom Hearts 2. Here, it all feels much more sluggish. However, to counter that, the enemies don't die as quickly, and I feel that they deal much more damage. As such, strategy is really required here. Not a lot of strategy, it is Kingdom Hearts after all, but you do have to utilize roll and block, which I never really did in the other games. Especially 2, as roll was not there from the start. You have to level up the freaking suits, whatever they were called, and try to come down. I just would appreciate roll from the start, okay, in Kingdom Hearts 2. Especially after Chains of Memory has it from the start and I got used to it. But generally speaking, you did not have to use it in this game, and in most Kingdom Hearts game, it's not that required. Also, in 358, you have limited inventory, and your abilities have to fit into your inventory too, which is a little bit stupid, but it does limit your resources. You cannot put a stack of potions and just mindlessly hack and slash. No. You got to dodge and block enemies' attacks, trying to conserve every last potion. So yeah, we established the gameplay, the cool mission structure. What about the story? Well, you probably do know the story, because thanks to the collection, we got the remastered cutscene compilation movie, and that's basically it. And probably watching this, you wonder all the time, what do these ice cream taste like? As they do nothing but eat them. And I really thought that this game will be just missions, ice cream, cutscene. But I was wrong. Whilst yet not much more story-wise is told in the game that haven't been shown in the cutscene movie, but there is so much more character building in this game for the Organization 13 members, which I did not expect. Some members that I completely hated in the game due to their boss fights or whatever, I started to love, as their interaction with Roxas were just so genuine and cute. It really brought out a different side to them, which I haven't seen in the limited time we had with them in Kingdom Hearts 2, and Chains of Memory. It added depth to these characters that was really needed in my opinion, and it's a great. We got like a whole game about that. I think it's awesome. And we got a Muggle in Organization 13 Trenchcoat. Oh my god. So yeah, this game is cool. It's fun. It gives you excuse to spend time with your favorite organization members, and it works as a portable game, which, you know, with the quick rounds and everything that you can just complete while pooping. What else do you want? I do not see how one would rank this game as one of the worst games. It, yes, it looks terrible these days, and lack of thumbstick is not ideal, but taking into the context the hardware they were working with, they couldn't have made it any better, I feel. I would personally say this is one of the most enjoyable games in the franchise for me. Whilst I enjoy the much more polished mainline entries, I do feel they are often more flashy than functional, and I never truly explore the whole combat in it, as you really don't have to. Here it is required, and I love it. I think they nailed the challenge here, unlike what they did with that game. Like, what the fuck was that fight? But yeah, guys, this is my opinion, as I have not yet beaten all of the games in this franchise. Again, I don't have a perspective on everything that happens in the story, all of the games. I just don't have the whole perspective as of yet. But I'm loving my journey so far, and I cannot wait to play the next one. That one good, isn't it? Isn't it?